Welcome to Timeline. This is another of the oldest games on MrNussbaum.com, but it's one of my favorites. The object is to rearrange the historical events to their correct places on the timeline. It is challenging for sure, but there are different levels of difficulty. You can do an easy level or a hard level. You can do U.S. history or you can do world history. You can also do one or two players. Now, just because this doesn't have the great graphics and it's an old game does not mean it's not a fantastic game. I love this game, and it's actually inspired by one of the old games on the Price is Right game show. So, I'm going to click U.S. History in Easy. One player also, and Begin Game. So, I have to give myself a name here. I'm just doing Mr. N. Click OK. And look, I have 8 historical events. Now I have to arrange them in the correct order. So let's start off with Benjamin Franklin proved lightning is electricity when flying the kite in a thunderstorm. So what year did this happen? Well, I believe this happened first in the timeline, so I drag it underneath the date. The War of 1812 with Great Britain ends. Okay, so it started in 1812. It ends in 1815. President Jefferson makes the Louisiana Purchase. That happens in 1803. And I do have a timer here. I'm at 50 seconds. Okay, so Alexander Graham Bell patents the telephone. This actually goes right down here. Alright, so we have terrorists flying to the World Trade Center as the Pentagon into Pennsylvania Field. 3,000 people are killed. We know that happened in 2001. The Paris Peace Treaty is signed. America becomes an independent nation. Well, I know that happened in 1783. And so I know Martin Luther King was assassinated in 1968, and in 1973 the Vietnam War ends. Now let's see, I'm going to check my answer. If I get all these right, there are 2 more rounds. So I check the answer, everything is correct, 8 points. So I click continue and go on to the next round. Now watch what happens if I'm going to get 2 wrong here, just so you can see how this works. So again, the Vietnam War ends. So these are randomly generated, so sometimes you get the same ones. Alaska and Hawaii become 49th and 50th states. That happened in 1959. The Civil War ends. Lincoln is assassinated. That's 1865. President John F. Kennedy is assassinated, and that's 1963. We know that the War of 1812 with Great Britain ends in 1815. Japan bombs Pearl Harbor. America enters World War II in 1941. So we have the World Trade Center disaster here again. Now let's say I accidentally put this in 1929, and I put the stock market crashes, propelling America into its worst depression in 2001. So I have 2 wrong here. So let's see. I check answer, and it says correct 6 of 8, just as I thought. So I still have time, but I have to rearrange 2 of these. I have to figure out which ones I got wrong, so I know exactly which ones I got wrong. And I'm going to check my answer, and now I got them right. And I have 16 points as you see in the upper left corner. I go on to play 1 more round. The great thing about Timeline is we actually have timeline games for the Civil War that only deal with the Civil War and that only deal with the American Revolution. That's how you play it. I hope you enjoy.